Okay, so I was doing my thing and noticed that my video camera was not turned on. So again, real quickly, I'll go through the colors. I mixed everything 1-to-1 with Floetrol, latex based, no water added. I've got Prussian Blue that's kind of mixed with navy blue. I have Ultra Blue Deep in my squeeze bottles, Dioxazine Purple, True Blue, Desert Turquoise, Primary Red, Orange Flame, True Ochre, and Cadmium Yellow. Again, those are mixed 1-to-1 with Floetrol. Then I add 1 drop of silicone to the cup of paint per ounce of paint mixture. So if you mixed up, say, 4 ounces of yellow paint, you add 4 drops of silicone and mix it in. Then you transfer your color into your squeeze bottle like this. Now, the squeeze bottles, I've had probably mixed paints in there for up to a year. So whenever I get low, I just constantly add leftover paints to it. So it might have silicone, it might have OGX, it doesn't matter. Because regardless, when it comes out of your squeeze bottle with these little holes, it's going to be small cells no matter what. And that is what I prefer for controlled swipes. And I'm going to do a controlled swipe today. It's similar to one I did a couple of years ago. And I do have deep sapphire metallic and fluorescent blue that are deco art colors in paper cups. If you see me using those, that's what that is. The base coat that I put a skim coat down, just a skim coat, is Artist Loft White Flow Acrylic mixed 1-to-1 with Floetrol and water, because Flow Acrylic White from Artist Loft is really thick. You have to add water. But you don't want it, you want it on the thicker side as opposed to the thinner side, because if you get it too thin, your colors will bleed out, and you don't want that to happen. I am swiping today with a pool trowel. It's from Marshalltown. It's in my Amazon link below the video. I've had this for a few years and I love it for bigger controlled swipes. It's fabulous. I'm going to use that. I have a couple of plastic paint scrapers. I have my typical store credit card and my little palette knife in case I need them. Lots of wet paper towels to wipe off, because every time I swipe, you have to wipe your tool off and make sure it's clean. This is a very controlled swipe. There's not going to be excess paint left over dripping off the canvas. This is totally controlled and intentional. So in the one I did a couple of years ago, it kind of looked like a crab, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for. But I swiped with black instead of, this time I'm going to swipe with the deep navy Prussian blue. I also have white in a bottle as well that has no silicone or OGX in it. So the other thing you have to make sure is that when you're swiping, that nothing is in your way when you swipe one way or the other. So I'm going to start, and I've got multiple colors, but there's a method to my madness. I'm going to start with the Ultra Blue Deep. I'll do a layer of and the beauty about these squeeze bottles is if you haven't used them in a while, because it is a thin opening at the top, you just open up the lid and you put a toothpick through it and it flows again. I'm going to use a little bit of the Dioxazine Purple. Move that drip out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to be swiping up, so I'm going to layer my colors in this direction. This is the True Blue. Again, I have not used some of these in quite a while, so they might be a little persnickety. Okay, so now I'm going to do True Ochre. And then see if it gets through a clog, it comes out really thick. You can always lift a little off with your finger if you need to. Yellow. A hair. Orange. Flame. Primary red, which was stopped up at the very beginning there. So I have a nice little puddle at the end. Just swipe it off with your finger. Drop your paper towel in your paint, no big deal. Isn't that what filming videos is all about, is bloopers, bloopers, bloopers. Okay, I'm going to put a little white down. I'm going to clean that up just a bit, but that'll all just level out. I do want to add this neon blue. It's kind of a fluorescent neon blue, but I want to add a strip of that from the cup. I don't think I'm going to put the metallic blue, but I am going to go back and add another layer of the Ultra Blue Deep. I want to make sure I've got enough blue down there. Okay, so I'm going to swipe with my darkest color. Instead of black, this time I'm using navy or Prussian blue. This is probably a combination of the two. I thought about swiping with brown, but I decided against it. I was thinking of, earthy, warm tones that are typically in a crab, but I didn't want to dull it down with brown. I've got a clean paper towel. So now we're just gonna, and I want to put a little line of white on this side as well, just because I only have a thin skim coat. I got lots of fur hanging around. Okay, cross our fingers. Let's see what happens. Now, with what's left on your thing, on your tool, I like to keep photo paper around, and I just skim over the surface of the tool and keep that paint on a piece of photo paper. So that looks pretty good. I'm pleased with that. Drip. Okay, wipe my tool off completely. I'm going to stop talking and just paint. It's too big. If you don't like something that you've done, you can usually just swipe right over it. So I don't like the way that ended right there. So this was the reverse of what I was doing, so it's red, It kind of did the same thing when I lift my tool up. That's what happens. I'm just going to leave it. So totally cleaning my tool off, and I've got the basic shape in. This one doesn't look as much like a crab, but it's kind of an abstract variation of it. So I'm just going to go in a few places, add a little bit, till I get it the way I want it. Okay, so I think I'm done. And the thing about fluid art is you never really can get two to look exactly alike. So, you know, if something worked well, it may or may not work for you the way you want it to on the next go round. But it's supposed to be abstract, but the first one I did kind of looked like a crab. Like here's the main part of the crab and its legs coming out in different directions. This one, maybe because I swiped, you know, with the other one I swiped certain things first, and so the overlapping caused this certain effect to happen. Like I wish this was attached more below or under this section here. But there's nothing I can do about it, but I like the look of it and I'm still pleased with it. I love all the beautiful colorful cells. I'm going to do a close-up for you to show you. And the whole purpose of doing this is to just really love and enjoy what you're doing, and that's what I do. I love what I'm doing, and so when I'm painting, I'm a happy person. It brings me joy. I'm happy to bring joy to other people, and I'm happy to share my knowledge with other people. That's what it's all about. God's given me this talent to be an artist, and it's my duty to share it with others and to share the joy. So I hope you enjoyed this painting, and I will show you a close-up, and at the end of the video, as always, there will be a dried picture. And the cool part about these kind of swiping with intention kind of things is they dry usually by the end of the day. So right now it might be 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll probably be dry before I go to bed tonight. So there's no wasted paint. I did wipe the trowel off a few times, but look at this beautiful leftovers that I have for jewelry. It's just gorgeous. So that will dry on the side, and I'll shoot a close-up for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. All right, just coming in on the close-up range to just show you some of the beautiful colors and cells. These paints have been sitting for almost a year. So even with that being said, you still get this beautiful cell action going on. And stay tuned for the finished picture. So it's really basically my version of an abstract crab, is what I think. But you might have a different feeling. Thank you so much. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I sure did. And I hope you will check out all the links below the video. You can find the pull trowel. You can find the Wilton fondant spreader tool that I used to put the white paint down. And I got the icing bottles in my Amazon link. It's a different looking bottle. It might not have any writing on it, but they're icing bottles. They're 8 ounces and they're excellent. They have screw-on lids, which are fantastic. So let me show you what I mean. They just screw right on, and it's nice and airtight. But the cool part is that it's a very small opening. That way you don't lose a bunch of paint on your canvas when you don't need it. So also check out all the links below my video. I have a PayPal link. If you'd like to ever make a donation, that's greatly appreciated. I'll give you a shout out for donations. It can go towards my paint supplies to create more beautiful paintings and give you more inspiration. Check out my Thinkific platform where I have online classes if you want to learn how to paint traditionally with paintbrushes. And my Etsy shop, which I reopened, and it is on the link below the video. So check them all out. If you're not a subscriber, please come join the family. And stay tuned for the next video. Thank you so much. Hugs, everybody. Kisses. Goodbye.